Welcome to another thrilling episode of the Do Big podcast. I am your host, Sheetal Choksi, and today we will delve into the dynamic world of farmpreneurs. Farmpreneurs is a concept which is at the intersection of agriculture and innovation. Farmpreneurship represents a groundbreaking movement where traditional farming meets cutting edge methods. These visionary farmers are revolutionizing the agricultural sector by incorporating technology, embracing sustainable practices, and pioneering new, unique business models. They're transforming traditional farming into a hub of opportunities, job creation, and community development. Joining us today to unpack this fascinating topic further is our special guest, Sachin Farfad Patil. He is the founder of SmartU Krishi Khata. Sachin has over 12 years of experience in IT services, education, startup, and the development sector. He founded SmartU Krishi Khata, an award-winning startup, in 2023. His goal is to create 5,000 jobs in rural India and become India's first Agritech unicorn. He's focused on helping and building the startup ecosystem in Vidarbha region and is a part of the Nagpur startups community. Welcome, Sachin, to the Do Big podcast. And I am more than happy to jump in and learn so much more about what it means to be a farmpreneur. So, welcome.
Thanks a lot, Sheetal. Very happy to be part of this podcast series and delve into the lives of the farmer, how technology is transforming the way farming is being done in the country, and share my thoughts about it. Very happy to be here.
While I have done what I think is the definition of a farmpreneur, Sachin, it would be great to understand from you what defines a farmpreneur today.
Yeah, this is probably a point term or the extension of what is entrepreneur means, right? And there are multiple extension of the entrepreneur. Now we call the mamas who started business called mompreneurs, the couple who starts a couplepreneur. But that was not the idea behind this farmpreneur word. But our farmers in India or all across the world, they are doing into the same practice as any other businessman is, right? They are also kind of putting up some raw material, processing it, selling the finished good, or maybe providing services, right? But they call the farmers and others call entrepreneur or businessmen, right? So we wanted to coin this term and give a different notion to it, and that's where this term farmpreneur came from.
And what inspired you to get into this space and empower small and medium-sized farmers?
So, Sheetal, this come from a very personal story of mine. I come from a background of farming. My father is a farmer. I grew up going into farm, working into farm, seeing my father and my mother doing farm activities and stuff. That was our only income while growing up. And when I completed my bachelor's in computer, then management education, I started working for MNCs, did my own startups, also provided, was involved in different passion projects and stuffs. But whenever I used to go back my village and talk to my father again, or maybe talk to my schoolmates again, see what they are doing in farming, and their issues were very much different than what we talk on the day-to-day basis in sitting in boardrooms in corporate offices or any other businesses we do. Here we talk about just our travel expenses sometimes shoot up like more than lakh rupees for one trip, and that is the whole year earning for the farmers. And that used to kind of strike me. Hey, I come from this community. I come from this background. I'm a son of a farmer. I kind of studied because of my parents' efforts and their vision. I was able to get a right education. Now it's my time to kind of contribute back to my community and what's I can do for them. So I started dwelling into doing different activities or maybe talking to more people and stuff. And that's where we come across this particular idea of starting up a product for the farmers, which can help them to kind of maintain their accounting, maintain the farm finances, operations, and kind of gain some insights which they can utilize in their regular farming activities, and eventually kind of enhance their profitability, right? So that was the idea, right? Because everybody is struggling with that, right? Finally, they want to make more money, right? For their livelihood and their regular things. So yeah, from there we started this.
So, it's very interesting because farmers in India specifically have many, many challenges, right? Everything from education to seed to soil to the works. I mean, you name it, and every aspect of farming, there is a challenge. What made you choose um, finance as the place where you would want to provide solutions? Why finance as the solution?
Oh, that's a very interesting question, Sheetal, and people don't think from this perspective. But you accept it or not, finances or money is the core problem where everything falls around, right? And fortunately and unfortunately, even a government or the developmental organizations or other startups and enterprises, everybody has chosen the route to kind of do an intervention in the farming or agriculture other than the finances. So they provide better agriculture practices, better input, probably market linkages, and so on and so forth things. But it is really not enough for the farmers because they are doing farming from ages and the generations. Nobody can go back and really teach them farming, right? In fact, what they were used to do earlier, the organic farming and stuff, so we kind of change their habit and ask them to do a hybrid farming and the pesticide based farming. Now we are again giving them GAN about, hey, let's do natural farming now, right? So they were the anyways doing that, right? So we thought to go into the core issue of what these small and medium sized farmers are facing day in day out. Their problems are very basic. Was I am investing X amount of money, I am doing XYZ efforts. The output which I should supposed to be getting is not enough, and that is not. I'm not able to survive on that on the basis of that, right? And that's where you see a lot of farmer suicide news comes into every now and then in newspaper or TV channels. There are protests by the farmers across country and stuff. The major issue is how they make the livelihood and their life better by doing farming, right? And how they can make the farming profitability. Now, for businesses, whenever anybody do any small business or a bigger enterprise or a corporate level business, the first and foremost important tracking they does is the finances, because that's what the run their show, right, and run their businesses if the profitability is not there. But if you look at the farming, nobody maintains the accounting, and hence the problem is that they don't know how much they are investing, how much efforts it's going, how much profitability it is making, how to price their produces, whether the price is right or not. And that's where they get exploited and get a very lesser prices, doesn't make a lot of profit out of it or margins out of it, hence struggle for their livelihood as well, right? So that is where this idea came into providing them a tool to them to record and reflect on these farm finances so that they can take a data-driven ongoing decisions about the farming, hey, what is going to be better for enhancing their profit. So basic of the any business, right? So that's why I said, first of all, these are not just the farmers, right? They are also equally a businessman or entrepreneur. They are into the similar kind of a work what we are doing, or the businesses are doing, or businessmen doing day in day out, right? So first is that. Then what the businessman does? Businessman records, even though he is going to office, he kind of put the traveling expenses. That if he's traveling outside or maybe giving dinner to team member or an investor or any client, that's also increases, expenses are covered in their accounting. But farmer doesn't do anything, right? So that's the first step of it, I guess. If you really uplift the life of the farmers in a country, that's the first step we should teach them कि hey, आपको पहले accounting वही खाता लिखना शुरू करना पड़ेगा. Although it may sound that it doesn't make profitable or not even a viable business, but first you understand, hey, it is not a viable business. What I can do then, right? How do I minimize the expenses? How do I sell my produces in my maximum price or better price, or how do I do any some additional work along with the farming so that I can make the livelihood of it. So that's where this comes into picture to solving those challenges.
So it's very interesting. You're using technology to help them solve this problem called business. One of the challenges that a lot of technologies face is the level of education of the person who's using the tool, right? Always a challenge, which is there. How does your tool cut across the educational barrier of the farmer? Is it in languages? Is it easy to understand? How have you figured that piece out for the farmer?
I guess that's the key. That's the key of doing. If you look at agri-tech as a market or a startup ecosystem, there are a lot of technology out there and very very good innovative things which is really helpful to the farmers. But the problem is the technology adoption in the farming community is very very less. Reason is because nobody now like in India are at least in this last 2 to 3 decades, I would say, from the my generation I saw the farming. Nobody is doing farming by choice. It is by chance because they don't have anything else to do, or maybe not have that much education to kind of get the professional job or a professional work, and that's what they are doing farming. It means that there is a educational barrier or there is a literacy barrier in that, right? And when it is come to an technology, then there is a technology barrier as well, right? So when we built this, we thought of kind of using different technology, high-end technology, starting from mobile application to web tools to so on and so forth. But then these were also problem statement which I just spoke about was rolling around our idea board or storyboard which we are planning. And then we thought, hey, there are three sets of problem here. One is if I had to break the technology barrier problem further, there are three sets of problem in the technology. One is they do not have a high-end mobile phones because their mobile phones are basic, right? And the reason they bought a smartphone because there is no palephonic or a button phone available in the market, and that's why when they on a smartphone. That's the reality. Right? Neither they have that much money to buy the high-end smartphone. Second, their techno savviness or the digital literacy to use any tool or any mobile application is very less because of their educational background and the kind of communities or kind of areas they stay. Third is the internet stability. Even though we are talking about 5G, 6G, and whatnot, still there is an issue of the internet in the rural areas. This is my own example. Whenever I go to my own village, if I had to pick up the call, I need to step out of my house to get that call, right? Maybe go on a terrace to pick up that call or surf the internet. And although my house village is just 100 kilometers away from the one of the top cities in India, Nagpur, right? And it just besides the highway. Still, I face those problems, right? So now these were very, very important issues or challenges to solve when we are really asking farmers to come on some platform or give them some tool to kind of record and reflect or do a digitalization of their farming records was a challenge. And that's where we built our tool on a WhatsApp. And that's kind of a groundbreaking for us, or maybe helped us solve these barriers because a it doesn't require any other mobile application to be installed because phones are already basic and WhatsApp is pre-installed in most of the phones or almost every phone in country. Second, user behavior, the digital literacy of the users, which is farmer in this case, is already set on WhatsApp because WhatsApp is the first application probably somebody would have started using after calling somebody, right, from the phone, right? That was the first application, right? So user behavior is also set. Third, WhatsApp runs on a low internet. So if you switch off your phone or maybe put it on the flight mode if you are traveling, and if you switch on your flight, switch back your flight mode back, connect to an internet, you will get a first notification from the WhatsApp. That's because it runs on a low data and only the text travel. And that's where is the key for our solution to take it to the farmers and get a higher adoption rate. Uh, at this point of time, we are connected with 20 lakhs farmers from Maharashtra. On regular basis, 50,000 plus farmers are using our tool on a WhatsApp. That's kind of an achievement within a 1 year which we have, and that really helped.
Hmm,
Yeah.
interesting. And when you, so it's still about the Vahi Khata and it is still about the accounts and things like that. Can you kind of share one change? I'm not going to call it a success story, but can you share us the impact of having done something like
Yeah. So first is, as I said, the step forward to kind of debugging something, or maybe come up with something. Start recording that problem, or start kind of narrating or articulating that problem well. Right. Everybody knows Indian farmers are in
that?
trouble. Right. That is no new. From generation and decades, everybody knows people are working towards it. Government, development organizations, corporates, everybody is trying their bit to solve this, or maybe be making their problem, right. So first we had given them a tool to kind of record their problem, right? Finances, accounting. And how does it really helping it giving in a mobile is, if you look at the earlier or a previous method of doing this accounting for the farmer, those who are keeping the accounting, was on the Vahi Khata or diary pen, right? Even after my, that's the story I usually tell, that whenever I was young and going to the school, my father used to come back from the performing farming operations or selling his produces in agriculture market, and he used to write something on the backside of my notebook. Today, after 20 years or 25 years, even he does the same, or even my friends are doing the same, right? The reason is, wherever these farmers are doing transaction related to the farming, those happens either in the APMC market, agriculture produces market, maybe in the agriculture input shops, or maybe गांव के चौराहे पे जहाँ पे मजदूरी के पैसे देते हैं या खेत में. And he doesn't have any office, by the way, right? Like us, he doesn't have any office, table, chair, and the accountant or anybody in his office. It's one man army, right? None of these places he carries his diary pen with him, right? Hence, whenever he come back, his priorities get changed, or he forget to write those expenses, and hence it is not recorded and he's not paying attention, and slow and steadily it kind of fade away कि बहुत कम लोग उसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं, लिख लिख के रखते हैं, right? So basic problem we are solving कि अच्छा इन सारे जगहों पे आप डायरी पेन नहीं लेके जाते, बट मोबाइल फोन लेके जा रहे हो, right? तो मेरा टूल मोबाइल पे काम करता है, व्हाट्सएप पे काम करता है, एडिशनल ऐप भी डाउनलोड नहीं करना पड़ता. That is number one. Number two, whenever they record, they get to know about different insights. For example, what is the cost of cultivation? What are the different heads they are spending money in? Were there just 2 spraying or 3 spraying required, and he did 4 or 5? He means did the excess expenses, right? All of these insights he gets, right? And now, whenever he's selling his produces, first, when he records the expenses, he kind of get to know, okay, probably I'll make this much amount of money out of this selling these produces. Now my expenses already shooting up, right? So he keeps the control on that, or maybe find things in a cheaper prices, right? Or maybe excess expenses he doesn't do. Second, benefit to the farmer ki whenever he's selling produces, if the market price is X amount and he knows that his expenses is not getting met, he kind of hold his selling decisions, right? Produces to him, and whenever he get a little better prices, then only he shares, because now he know what is the cost of cultivation. So now when to sell has become very easy for him. Otherwise क्या होता था, जब भी मार्केट में प्राइस खुला वो प्रोड्यूस बेच देता था, उसको ये नहीं पता चल रहा है कि उसमें नफा नुकसान क्या हो रहा है, राइट? अभी वो सोचना शुरू कर दिया है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि उसको सही रेट अभी मिल रहा है, इसके वजह से सही रेट मिलेंगे. एटलीस्ट इसने सोचना शुरू कर दिया है कि आज जो मार्केट में रेट है वो मेरे लिए सही नहीं है, इज नॉट द बेटर प्राइस फॉर मी, राइट? दैट्स व्हाट ही स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग. And because of this, what we had observed over the period of time, our users, farmer users, are able to reduce their overall cost by 20% just by tracking the expenses, because they are not doing any excess things. Somewhere he needs 2, 3, 4 labors, maybe he is contributing himself to save that cost and stuff, right? So that is one kind of insights or clear impact which is happening. Secondly, he will be able to get better prices, or he will be able to sell his produces on a better prices, and that's why he's maximizing his profit as well, right? That's the another impact you would say is happening. Third, he's also getting access to a lot of information and the advice which he requires to do the farming, right? The classic example is knowing the market rates, what's happening, what is the market rate in the nearby APMC rates, right? So we are disseminating these rates through this WhatsApp channel only or WhatsApp bot only. Now he knows कि अच्छा उसके नियर बाय मार्केट में कौन सा रेट चल रहा है, उस रेट में उसको बेचना है कि नहीं और कितना उसने खर्चा कर लिया ये भी पता चल रहा है, तो he can do the comparison. Not only that, we also help him comparing current market rate with the MSP rates given by the government, right? And he gets that comparison whether it is lower than that or higher than that and all of that. And because this rates has been introduced by the government to maintain the parity or maintain the zigzags or the in this agri produces market, right? So third, we also help him with the crop advisory. Whenever he have any problem related to any pest or diseases in the farming, he kind of click that photograph, mention that problem to us, and I have a team of agronomists at the back end, expert at the back end, who answers these queries to the farmers. And that's where he can reduce his cost or do a better treatment to his plants and enhance the quality as well. And that's why we said we are empowering farmers through SmartU Krishi Khata by providing them a tool on a WhatsApp to enhance their quality and the profitability through expense tracking and crop advisory. That's our statement.
So very interesting. I'm sure that, when you started this off, there were things that you knew already. What were those interesting aha moments that happened for you when you started doing this work? So it's almost a year since you've been in the space. I'm sure that there will be some instances which even caught you and your team by surprise. Share some of those interesting moments with us.
When we started this, you know that as I mentioned earlier as well, farmers are not doing farming by choice, right? They are doing by chance, and all the farmers in country, no farmer want their son or daughter to do a farming again. He wants to do her to do something else, maybe get a corporate job or maybe a government job or do something else than the farming, right? So when me and my other founders, three of us are from the farming background. One of our founder from Mumbai, she's from the technology background. So whenever three of us started, our parents started kind of shouting on us, hey, why you are doing this? Nobody is getting really making anything out of farming, and you are coming back and doing this. You were doing earlier good, right? So keep on carry on that. So there was not that much favorable situation for us to start this, right? And neither on the idea stage as well, it was looking like, hey, farmer don't need to do any compliance work. Why they will maintain the accounting? What will happen out of that? It is really going to help. And these are still the blurry areas for us, right? Still we are discovering different ways we can do. But deep down the line, we understand that, or we know that if they start maintaining accounting, they will be going to get benefited in a long run, right? So surprise moments for us when we saw farmers' adoption to this tool is very, very rapid, and they are not even reluctant about it. So sometimes when I talk to maybe people like us, you, or maybe some other journalist, or maybe some startup guys, or maybe investor, they say कि farmer से use करेंगे क्या? उनको तो technology नहीं आता and all of that. To my surprise, none of the farmers said this question to me till date. उसे लगे वो उल्टा आपको 10 सवाल पूछ के he try and understand, learn it, right? So there is a learning quotient, or there is a learning desire in the farmers, right? That's what we saw. The other example is when farmers start journey with us, we kind of does their registration to understand from which location he belongs, so that we can give them a location-based customized services and make this tool available in his native language to him, right? I guess you also asked this question in the earlier part, right? So it's in their native languages. Now, we ask pin code in that particular to do onboarding and shorten the flow. We ask the pin code, and we kind of did a lot of workshop for the urban farmers versus rural farmers and the different sets of people for using this tool. To our surprise, none of the farmers said कि अरे मुझे पिन कोड पता नहीं है. एंड अर्बन में जो लोग सिटीज में बैठते हैं वो कभी कभी हमारा टूल ट्राई करना चाहते हैं तो बोलते कि यार मुझे पिन कोड नहीं पता मेरे एरिया का. So that's also area. So sometimes there is a very stereotype in the कि अरे farmers कुछ नया करना नहीं चाहते, उनको तो technology adoption नहीं है, सीखना नहीं चाहते. If you really make the tool which is easy to use, which is going to be useful for them, adding the value in their lives, or making something some difference in their lives, they are eager to learn, they are eager to adapt, and they will be definitely going to take the help out of that particular tool, right? And that was our
So I was
experience.
reading up on this space, and it's quite interesting that the government has interventions, but the government has no governance, is what I read in one of the reports, right? That they will tell you what to do, but there is no governance on how it should be done, etc., etc. And I just want to understand that as agri-tech becomes more prevalent in this country, because the government is also pushing for agri-tech, right? Because they know that they can't do it, so they're asking entrepreneurs such as yourselves to get into it. What shifts do you see coming when governance comes into play? Right now, there's no governance in that sense. But when governance comes in, do you see challenges in the agri-tech or the farmpreneur space?
No, I guess it will definitely help big time to the agri-tech ecosystems, as well as the agri-tech startup founders or startups, and the farmers as well, because scale of agriculture is very vast. The problems are very vast. Matlab, you pick up any piece in the farming, you can solve that problem. You can solve the forward integration, backward integration, input output, precision farming, IoT, so on and so forth, right? You can pick up any piece, and there is a startup idea in agri-tech domain, right? And there is a lot to be done. There is a huge vacuum in the agriculture space. Now, for the startups, they can really identify problem well. They can really come up with some innovative solution. But those solution to scale, there is a support needed by the government and the other corporates as well to take it to the scale, because almost we have like 20 crore farmers in India, and almost our one third population is dependent on the agriculture, right? So there is a huge quantum of this, right? If the governance comes in, government intervention comes in, and they really do what they are supposed to do, it is going to help the agripreneurs or the agriculture startups in a big way.
And where do you see the future of farming in India? Because right now we have small parcels of land, we have all kinds of things, right? I'm sure that the challenges of farmers in the Vidarbha region is different from the challenges of the farmers in another region, etc. So, where do you see the future of farming in India with technology adoption?
I guess technology is the future for the agri-tech to make it better, make it profitable, make it do it on the scale. Is technology the way forward? And technology has kind of proven its credential in many different areas, such as education, uh, transportation, general businesses, accounting practices, everywhere, right? You might have seen long queues in front of railway ticketing windows 10, 20 years back, and there were currently there is no one who goes to those windows, right? And that's happened because of the technology. Now you can book the tickets on fingertips, and that's the kind of power technology has, right? It is a gift to the humanity, I guess. Technology is the gift to the humanity, and that uh, those fruits to be given, or those seeds to be sown in the agriculture or the farming sector as well, and that is going to transform the agriculture as well. And those days will come back that when we will say, farming or the agriculture is the first, and then you do business or naukri, and then other stuff, right? वो हमारे यहाँ पे पहले कहावत थी कि शेती उत्तम, देन बिजनेस दुय्यम, ऐसा समथिंग कुछ आई हैड हर्ड फ्रॉम माय ग्रैंडमदर लॉन्ग टाइम. So that those days will come, because agriculture is the basic needs, right? Food is the basic need, and you need to kind of focus. With the technology, I guess these farmers will become more aware, more empowered, and more connected to the world and the markets, and hence they will start sowing which gets sold in the market, or which gets the better price in the market, than doing anything and everything which is available, which is kind of they were doing traditionally. That's number one shift I can see is going to happen because of that. because of the technology, there will be a lot of pressure or a lot of, I guess, control over the demand and supply also of the agriculture commodities. Now, farmer will understand that, hey, I'm not getting rates. It means that I need to wait for till I get the better price, right? Than selling the produces right away when it is come out of the farm, right? And that way, demand and supply will play his role, and the prices will also at a certain level where it becomes the reasonable for the sellers as well as the buyers in this area. Third, as you said, there is a fragmented farming happening or the nuclear farming happening in the country. That will also start happening in a consolidation. This is my father always tells that whenever, unless and until group of people come together, the group of farmers come together and think about producing one single produce, buy the inputs together, sell the produces together, then only they can optimize the cost, they can get a better price, and they can get a better price. So these things also will start happening with the help of technology, and it is going to be, I guess, big time help to farmers as well as to the farming allied businesses. So this technology is much needed to kind of enhance the farming and the uplifting the farmers' income and their lifestyle, I guess. Second main goal which we have is to providing insights to the farmer himself to made him farmpreneur, so that he knows that this is the business he's doing, right, and where he can cut short the expenses, where he can get a better price. Third, at the business side as well, we are going to help agriculture businesses, those who are input organizations or seed farm mechanizing organization. We also empower them with the right set of analytics or insights to reach out to the right set of farmers. Because nowadays, if they wanted to market their seed fertilizer or agriculture tool, they do not have a platform where they can reach to a specific set of farmers, because the existing channels of marketing doesn't have any insight related to farming. Maybe you can take a high level guess that keep somebody is farmer or not, but you cannot decide whether somebody is a cotton farmer or a sugarcane farmer, right? Probably Google can tell you if somebody is farmer or not, but Google cannot tell you if somebody is a cotton farmer or a sugarcane farmer, or holding 2 acres land or a 20 acres land, have an irrigation facility or not. And all of this solution available in the market, which agriculture businesses, Agritech is providing, or even the banking products are there. It is that are customized in the nature and for a specific set of farmers, and that's where they keep on investing so much money in marketizing their product, but doesn't get those good ROI. And here we help these agriculture businesses to reach out to the right set of farmers. So yeah, that's how I think our aim or vision for the SmartU. Whenever you will see any farmer putting up the price card or a rate card on the produces in the agriculture market, that will be the kind of our vision coming true, or our dream coming true. That's the vision as a founding team we have. We wanted to see farmers putting up the price tag on their produces before selling it, not the some merchant or somebody else is deciding the price for them. That's the larger goal we have.
And my last question to you, Sachin, because I can continue asking you questions, but I do need to also kind of keep time in. And what advice would you give other entrepreneurs who are looking to make a difference in the agri-tech industry?
As I said earlier as well, Sheetal, agriculture and farming in India and across the world has a lot of vacuum. There are all set of problem statements available there, or all set of problems these people are facing, and they need our help. They need the help from the budding entrepreneur. They need help from the corporates, government, everybody. And that's where the opportunity lies. Wherever the problem is there, there is opportunity, right? We can innovate solutions, we can ideate, or we can evolve our business models accordingly and think about how we can really help farmers to uplift them, right? And there are no rocket science required or rocket science technology which is required. There are basic things which are been getting done in the enterprises solutions, or maybe in the urban areas, that just we need to find and go and replicate those in the rural areas, and these people can really get benefited out of it if you really have a uh, uh, passion for it and if you really want to do it. But to do agriculture related business or agri-tech startup, you need a passion and a very vast understanding of the agriculture domain, right? Because these businesses or startups are not going to make you a $1 billion company overnight. This is not an AI tool which people will start using the other day, and you will become suddenly will become the tech tycoon or maybe a business tycoon of the year. And so it requires a lot of patience, lot of perseverance, determination to kind of identify the problem, giving them a solution. Adoption rate is very low, and there is a very high level trust deficit in the farming community. You need to win that trust as well of the farmer, right? But if you want to do it, you will if you really do it, you will probably will have a sound sleep at the end of the day, and you will have that sense of achievement that you impacted someone's life, right? And you really help, and obviously you will be going to make the money also out of it, right? Nobody is doing startups only for the charity, right? Although there are social impact ventures and social entrepreneurs coming in, but you need a sustainability to it, right? So money will come fall alongside, but you need a passion and the determination to really solve the right set of farmer, right? And one more last advice I wanted to do, rather than just pushing what we want to provide to the farmer, understand what do they really need as a technology or as a intervention, right? A lot of these things which are happening nowadays all across country and the world are the push. They say that कि, hey, drone is important for the farming, right? Drones से spraying कर सकते हैं, and a lot of other things which are coming, right? But we really want to see that कि whether the farmer needs it or not. What is his need, right? What is his first die-hard challenging need? If you really identify that, I guess there is a huge scope in this particular segment.
Sachin, this was absolutely fascinating and illuminating, and I'm sure that whoever listens to this episode is going to be very, very motivated. I don't know if they will become farmpreneurs or not, but I'm sure it's very, very motivating to do something that makes a difference and creates an impact. For our listeners, if you decide to become a farmpreneur or you decide that you want to take your first step into this space, do write into us with your questions, and I'm sure we'll be happy to come back to you with answers. I'm sure that there will be a description and a link where you can write into us. And we hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. I learned a lot today. I'm a very, very urban girl. My first attempt at farming is to do some hydroponics in my house. But beyond that, I'm not a farmer. And it's absolutely fascinating having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you for being a part of the Do Big podcast for us.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Hital, for inviting me to the Do Big podcast. And also thanks to Tata Tele Services for giving us this opportunity. Look forward to get more and more entrepreneurs coming and joining this space and help farmers in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Do Big podcast, a podcast that is dedicated to providing insights, strategies, and success stories of smart digital solutions for SMEs. We believe that behind every successful business, there's a strong foundation of reliable and secure technology, be it digital connectivity, cloud infra, cloud apps, collaboration tools, or cybersecurity solutions. In a rapidly evolving digital world where technology is key to progress, Tata Tele Business Services stands at the forefront of digital transformation of SMEs. Tata Tele Business Services, with their extensive experience and commitment to empowering businesses, understands the unique needs of SMEs. Whether it's scalable connectivity, robust communication tools, or tailored ICT solutions, Tata Tele Business Services is here to propel your business forward. Tata Tele Business Services is synonymous with innovation, reliability, and transformative solutions. So, if you're ready to take your organization to new heights of success, we encourage you to explore the transformative possibilities that Tata Tele Business Services has to offer. Our contact details are in the description below. Remember, we're available on all major podcast platforms. So if you enjoyed today's conversation, subscribe to our podcast for future episodes, which we promise will be packed with equally valuable insights on questions entrepreneurs face as they digitize and scale businesses with the help of technology. Don't forget to rate and review our podcast, as well as share it with peers, colleagues, and other entrepreneurs like yourself who will benefit from listening to it. Thank you for listening to us. And until the next time, keep embracing technology and may your business thrive in the digital era.